This week it's Genesis's GV80 Coupé. Recently the GV80 range had a bit of a makeover, and this is one of the things that was added, this coupé version. And by coupé they mean it's an SUV with kind of a more slopey back window. They also redid the grille, the lights, the Genesis symbol, that's new, and added a few other things. They also deleted the diesel engine, so now the only engine you can get is this 3.5. And these headlights, they're smart headlights, they're LED kind of matrix headlights, but they're made up with micro lenses. And as you're driving along at night, it's just like gentle theatre curtains that are opening and closing to keep whatever is approaching in front of you in a pool of dimmed light. Everything else is really bright. And the big boy has these 22-inch wheels. There's locking and unlocking on every door, including the back door. Privacy glass here in the back of the coupe style SUVs. This and one of the ones from Audi are the most attractive ones on the market. If you just press the top of the Genesis insignia, the boot does open. Some buttons here to lower the seats. Electric, of course. A 12-volt 180-watt outlet. And plenty of lighting. And also, if you stand with the key in your pocket for too long, which the key is in my pocket, you can see that there with the Genesis symbol on it, the door will open by itself. The back seat has limited headroom because of the height of the back seat and the way that the sunroof comes down. It goes all the way across the car, but as you can see back here, there's like a little indentation above my head. There's some coat hooks, Bang & Olufsen sound, window and lock switches, and this fancy carbon fibre trim, one of the many you can choose from, and it is real carbon fibre. Because on a car of this calibre, you want the real thing. There's another zone of climate control, plus there's heating and cooling for each seat, a 12-volt 180-watt outlet, and some USB-Cs. As well, there are the buttons that can move the front seat forward, obviously when there's no one sitting in it. And these gorgeous orange seat belts. And beautiful upholstery. And if there's one thing Genesis does right, is that gorgeous upholstery. Clever-eyed punters will notice there's been a change of clothes, and that's because some of the video failed, so I've got to do it again. Here's what you missed out on last time. The interior is absolutely impeccable. This is one of the many trims that you can choose, and let me just start this up because there's a couple of amazing things. First of all, the little trackpad. The fingerprint identification that lets you know it's you. Whoops, that was the radio. The touch sensitive air conditioning controls, and they've even got haptic feedback. There's seat heat cooling front and back. And this has got a little party trick too. Let me see if I can get it to work. And this is fully sanctioned by Genesis. Hold on. I've taken a big puff of my vape, and with any luck, the air conditioning system is going to sense that. Okie dokie. Air purification mode is enabled due to an increase of fine particles inside. Now that air conditioning has turned off the outside air, boosted the fan, and it's refreshing the air, which I think is just extraordinary. It also turns off the fan when you turns off the outside air when you're going into tunnels too. Inside the Qi charger tray, there's a button marked UVC. Open the armrest, you'll see a couple of lights on either side. Put my phone in there, close that, and then turn that on. It'll give it a blast of UVC to clean my phone, and I'll turn it over, I suppose, halfway through and give it another burl. I've talked about their 27-inch screen at the moment. Now, as you can see, unlike some of the brands that we've seen with these big screens in the past, this is just one screen, but only this side is touch sensitive. All right, I'm going to turn my phone over. Now the light goes off so that you don't get ovs in the face. Just over there, you'll see it as we drive out, is Genesis's or Hyundai's new hydrogen charger. I showed you the rear view mirror, which is active. So if I turn that on, it means I've got the TV screen effect. One of the other things, you'll just hear a little bong just then. That was, I need to push the star button, then go into speed limit, turn off the speed limit warning, and then go back. You can see now, just out of interest, that the indoor dust concentration has been reduced, which I'm absolutely thrilled about. Handling, brilliant. The cameras are looking forward to give me a reading on the road, but they also change the dampers so that the dampers will cope with bumps and what have you. Alrighty, let's get back into normal. Okay, now I'm in comfort. There's also an eco mode as well. I can hear that V6 silkily spinning away happily. The way I've got the dash set up, it's all over in this one set of readouts. The speed limit is 110, but the man in front is doing 100, so I'm doing 100 as well. There is an automatic lane change system, so the car is currently steering itself, and it's keeping me in the lines and a set distance from the car in front. I'll do it now. Okay, the car is going to change lanes, and it's changing lanes. It's doing this all by itself, and when it's finished, the green turns off on the windscreen and the blinker turns off. You just keep your hands loosely on the steering wheel. The other smart thing is that it's looking down the road with the cameras for the road conditions, and it will change the suspension depending on the road conditions. You can just hear the wind outside. All right, now we're just past that traffic. I'm going to give the auto lane change another burl, indicate, and I can see the arrows come up on the windscreen. It's told me everything's clear, it's changed, it's not green anymore, and the indicator turned off. Now, if you're not amazed by that, there's something wrong with you. I know other cars do it too, or they're supposed to, but I've never had one do it successfully. This looks really pretty at night. There is mood lighting. All of the controls are backlit, including the ones on the steering wheel and the doors. And you can dim this display if you want to. While we're in the tunnel, let's have a look at the active rear view mirror. That's a camera on the back of the car, and it's giving me, and this is quite dark in here, a very, very good picture of outside. So if you've got stuff in the back of the car, kids or boxes, well, whatever, and the back window is obscured, you can still get a good view. So this is what it looks like without it. As you can see, that is incredibly dark, and I can just make out there's a truck behind me. But I turn it on, and it's as if there's lights. The climate control got confused by some of the weather. Now, it does really clever things like dry the car out after you've gotten out of it. I don't know how it does it, but it says that it will dry the inside of the car out. And of course, with all the rain that we've had this week, it's needed it. But when it was actually raining, it turned the air conditioning off. It left the fan on, but turned the air conditioning off. Because there was no compressor running, it made the air moist. Because it made the air moist, the windows fogged up. So I had to take it out of automatic and press the air conditioning button so that the air conditioning compressor cut in. I love the looks. I love the performance. I love the handling. I love the ride. The range is between 130 and 140,000 depending on the model you choose. And because most people previously chose the luxury pack, the luxury pack is now included with all of them. The price went up accordingly, but nonetheless. So continuing with what I love about this car, I love the technology. I love my UVC phone cleaner. I love the Qi charger. This is just impeccable. It's like a beautifully made suit. Everything fits. And I do like a black cabin with red stitching. That's all this week from the fantastic Genesis GV80 Coupe. Everything about it is fantastic. Hit like, leave a comment, and as always, subscribe.